Dreams. Ever so sweet. For the first time in a long time, Abe was asleep. Completely unbothered. No headaches or pains. No nightmares. Yet. Just bliss. The darkness of his mind was comforting. Abe never usually dreamt of anything, but tonight, all that was about to change. The dark started to move in waves as it slowly manifested a bedroom around him. He lay, tucked tightly into bed with bright yellow sheets appearing to illuminate the room. No windows, no doors, no escape. He yawned and rolled out of bed, standing up with a guttural sound as he stretched, getting ready to start his day. At that moment, a tired voice came from behind him. "Why did you leave me?" Abe quickly turned to face the person. To his surprise, there was a woman lying in the bed under the sheets. Her hair fanned out around her, covering the bed in a blonde sea. She faced the wall, hiding her face in the mass of golden hair.
"Who are you?"
Abe asked. As he continued getting ready for his day, slipping into his guard uniform, a chuckle escaped her, small enough to be quashed by the hush of the room. "What's with the outfit, honey? I don't think I've ever seen you in a uniform before. I like it." Abe looked at the girl lying back too.
"You can see me?"
He asked nervously. There was a brief moment, and then she shuddered. "No, I can't. I can't see. Honey, are you there?" Abe crawled onto the bed and reached for the girl. Something felt off, but he pushed past it.
"Hey, are you okay?"
He gently placed his hand on her shoulder. Oddly enough, when he made contact, it was as if she wasn't solid. His hand sank slowly into her, and he was being pulled in. Its hair contorted and changed from blonde to colorless as it entangled him. Its grasp was tight, like it was trying to strangle the last little bit of life out of him. Its body wriggled like a mound of flesh like gelatin. Abe was horrified.
"Hey, let me go."
He pulled with all of his might, but the more he struggled, the more he was absorbed by the mass. "Please, honey, help me. I'm scared. I don't want to lose you. Please, don't leave me." The creature's head melted and reshaped to form again, facing Abe. It was blank. There was no facial features. The mass shifted, trying to form the face of a forgotten partner. Were they forgotten? Or just not properly introduced? Who's to say? As he was overtaken by the blob, its voice whispered to him in a familiar manner. It was impossible to understand, but he felt as if he had heard it before. The tone matched some distant, forgotten memories. Unfortunately for him, it would be a while before he started thinking again. The light of the room was snuffed out, only leaving the gurgling sound of Abe suffocating in the mass. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the city slept. Everyone, except for him. The man was sitting prim and proper in an office chair, writing in a notebook. The red plastic cover engraved with chicken scratchings, the only legible word being ramblings. His eyes were sunken, shadowed by deep black circles that told the story of plenty sleepless nights. Not that he would complain. After all, his genius seems to flourish at times like this. Unfortunately for everyone around him, so does his depravity. The room had no windows, no doors, no lights. Just the man, a chair, and a desk. The lack of light should have affected his vision. However, his eyes, something about his eyes, they were different. His gaze easily pierced through the dark with an unblinking reptilian stare, fixated on the page, which was a mess of ink and madness, every line twisting over itself like the jumbled thoughts of a psychopath. It was completely illegible. As he waved his pen across the page, scrambling the jumble even more, he hummed a crackly, dark tune. His symphony loudened as he scribbled faster and faster. With one drastic swipe, he ended both his tune and his writing.
All done.
He closed the notebook and placed it neatly in line with his smartphone, making sure to readjust them to be perfectly in line. At that moment, a buzz came from his pocket. Retrieving a small flip phone, a single unread message blinked in red. The sender tagged Type F-03. He flipped it open, the hinges sounding like gunshots in the complete silence of his abode. 2 words glowed against the dark background of the screen. It's him. Those 2 words was all it took for his pulse to spike. He drew a sharp breath filled with anticipation. Without hesitation, his polished black dress shoe tapped a button hidden on the floor. This was not a drill. He had been waiting years for this alert, and finally, it's happened. The ceiling split down the middle as the floor was elevated to convene with the rest of the house. The man stepped out of his secret room, grabbing his second phone off the table, before the room retracted back into the floor, creating a seamless seal on the ground, completely invisible to the naked eye. He threw on a coat and turned off all the lights. Just as he reached for the doorknob, he stopped and let out a frustrated grumble.
Right. Almost forgot.
He stood up straight and took a deep breath, making sure that he looked composed, and only then did he open the door. He locked it behind him and slowly made his way to his car, each movement deliberately trying to persuade. Persuade who, you ask? Well, the people watching, of course. They thought they were hidden, and they would be to a normal person, but this was no normal man. He was only as predictable as he led them to believe, when in fact, he was always 2 steps ahead. At least 2 steps. There was nothing that he wanted to do more than turn around and wave to the unmarked car behind him. But he knew that making them aware that he was onto them would be a huge blunder. After all, he is playing the part of the fool. And wow, can he play it well. Just something about how he carries himself pulled the wool over everyone's eyes. His mask, once chosen, appears near unbreakable. It took him mere moments to reach his car, but in that little time he had already concocted a plan to lose the stalker. Grasping the handle of his car, he whispered to himself,
Now for the hard part.
Flinging the door open, it caught the moonlight perfectly to show off its sleek purple shine. With a growl from the engine, the headlights flickered, and he slowly pulled out of the driveway. Just like that, the chase was on. Not a sprint or a race, just one car trailing another. He took the direct path to his destination so that he didn't tip off the stalker. After a few minutes, pulling into a bar. It was set up like an old-timey saloon. The big wooden sign covered in neon lights radiating the words, "The Late Night." The place was full as it always was. People laughing and singing, truly enjoying every moment. He parked next to a set of motorbikes, stuck a top hat pin onto his jacket, and waltzed inside. The stalker followed close behind. They were dressed in all black as if trying to disappear into the dark around them. As the stalker breached the glow of the bar, they searched the crowd for his target. To no avail. The man had vanished.
You have to be kidding me.
Pushing through the crowd, he made his way to the bar counter, sliding a stool out to use as his seat. It was old and rickety, but had just enough padding to make it bearable. Removing his hood, he signaled for the bartender. The pale girl, dressed in an apron and a black bikini, made her way over with the biggest smile a living soul could have. As she leaned across the counter, flaunting her big upper half, she spoke.
Hiya, Quit. How things going tonight? What can I get you?
He chuckled, trying to hide his frustrations.
Nothing to drink tonight, Mary. I'm just wondering where he went.
She stood up straight and seemed to lose interest in the conversation, but maintained her polite and friendly attitude just the same.
Sorry, Detective. I thought you might have finally been here to let loose for once. If you're looking for Marty, he's in his office.
Quinn lowered his head, looking annoyed.
You know that's not who I'm talking about.
She jammed her hands onto her hips, leaning forward as a scowl grew across her face.
While I would love to help Detective, I haven't seen him. While he very well could be in here somewhere, the crowd's a little thick tonight.
He huffed and turned to face the crowd, scanning it for his target, obviously not even catching a glimpse of him. Mary's stance eased, and she leaned across the counter.
Look, Quinn. He was proven innocent. You might not believe it, but Mr. Afton is a very nice man. You should really drop this before you lose any more of yourself. I mean, really, Quinn. When was the last time you slept? You look exhausted. It's 1 a.m., and this is what you're doing. Just take a little break. Have a drink and level out. Then go back at it if you want. I'm sure if Mr. Afton is in here, he'll still be here in 15 minutes. And hey, if it makes you feel any better, the drink's paid for by a friend.
She winked at him with a reassuring smile, easily shattering his defenses. He checked his phone, and it showed a map of the building, with a red flashing dot inside. He sighed. Then, for the first time in a long time, he smiled.
I suppose one drink couldn't hurt.
Mary reached onto the shelf and poured a shot of whiskey.
That's the spirit, Quinn.
As Quinn turned on the stool to face Mary, a shadow slipped into Marty's office. Mr. Afton stood in the dark of the office, staring at the flip phone. A notification came across. The sender tagged Type M-02. Trap is sprung. He cackled and clicked his watch. A timer set for 15 minutes glowed on his wrist. Afton walked across the room and placed his smartphone on Marty's desk. He reached for a chair in the corner, placing it neatly underneath a window located in the top right of the room. Without hesitation, he slithered his way up and out the window, landing him in the gloomy night. The cold air hit him hard, the city's distant hum barely masking the sound of his own breath. He straightened his coat and walked towards a different, crappier car, which had been placed in the alley for this exact occasion. Another night, another easy escape. He couldn't contain his excitement. Now that he was out of sight, he sprinted for the car and floored it out of the alley, squealing the tires loud enough to alarm anyone who heard it. But did Quinn? No, he didn't. He was too enamored by Mary. Afton sped down the road.
I swear if this is another false alarm, I'm going to scrap that bitch myself.
He tightened his grip on the steering wheel till his knuckles whitened.
I'm coming for you, boy.